Hello everyone, what's up? It's me again, Junkmaster3, and it's time for a new update video. Now, this particular update video is going to be a little bit different because obviously it's going to be much shorter, but I actually decided to pick up some films from Studio S Entertainment, which is a label that releases really entertaining movies on the Swedish market. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I made a Swedish version, not a Swedish version, but a Swedish video not too long ago where I talked a little bit about this. And it's basically to the point that Studio S Nutia Films, they're really having a rough time right now. So I just wanted to pick up a few films from them just to keep them running, really, basically. So it's really a shame if a company like that is gonna go under, because it's such an amazing company that has released so many films that obviously I was never gonna get a release over here in Sweden anyway if it wasn't for Studio S and Nuta Films. So this is sort of like a Studio S released films, you can say, like update video. So it's not going to be very long, but yeah, hey, that's how it goes sometimes. I could have included these in the next upcoming update video, but I decided to show you these particular ones in a separate video just because, yeah, I really wanted to talk a little bit about the whole Studio S thing, that they're really having a rough time when it comes to economy and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just a shame if something like that is just gonna disappear. But anyway, let's begin with the update video. First up, we have this one, Akira Kurosawa, box 2. I already had the first box of films that they released. And in this one, you have Ikiru. I'll probably butcher the title of this one. Tengoku Tojigoku. Butcher that as well. Akahige, and Dodeskaden, Kagemusha, and Ron. Now, Kagemusha and Ron, I think I actually already had before in my collection. Ron is the only one that I've seen out of those two, so all of the other ones I've never seen before. But yeah, like I said before, sorry for my pronunciation with some of these Japanese titles. I mean, my Japanese is not really that good in general. So, but anyway, Akira Kurosawa box 2. And then we have some films from the Retro Films label or whatever. This is number 51, and it is Jackson County Jail, which you have seen before. And this is a very early role from Tommy Lee Jones. I believe he plays like I think he's playing a sheriff or something in this film. Or he's actually the bad guy. I don't remember too much, but I do remember that I like this one. This is a 70s film, and I believe this is directed by Michael Miller. Doesn't really recognize the name. I could have swore this was like Jonathan Demme, because he directed loads of these type of films in the 70s before it became really, really famous. So, but anyway, Jackson County Jail, never been released before on DVD or Blu-ray over here in Sweden, so that's really cool. Like for most of these films, I don't think, well, this particular one I know probably had a release before, but that was like long gone out of print, so I'm glad I picked up this one. But it is the 80s comedy called Skin Deep with what's his name? Tim Ritter, I believe. Yeah, it's, no, not Tim, John Ritter, sorry. I think I actually already had that older release of this one, but I mean, it's that retro release right there, so I just needed to pick that one up just because of that. So yeah, Skin Deep. Now let's see here. The next one is a film that I've never seen before, and it's also the retro films. This is number 46, and this is the film called, I'm probably gonna like butcher the title of this one as well, but Sleuth, right here from the 70s, I believe, 1972. And there's like a really creepy looking clown there in the back right there, if you ask me. So, but yeah, never seen this one before, but I've actually heard really good things about this one. So yeah. Now we come to the Blu-rays of this particular video, and we do continue with the rest right here. There's two more retro films releases right here of the Blu-rays. This next one is number 11, and it's the Charles Bronson film called Cosa Nostra, which I do believe has another title. Is it like Valachi Papers? Yeah, right there. Always good to have Charles Bronson movies in your collection. They're usually really entertaining. So yeah. And then we have this one. This is number 16. This is the I already had this one as well, but I don't think I have. I think the previous edition I had of this film was pretty much like a bare bones edition, which had almost, I don't think it even had any like bonus features to it whatsoever. But it is the original, The Hills Have Eyes by Wes Craven. Some people say this is kind of dated, but I still think this is such an atmospheric and cool film. And in general, I mean, there is a reason why Michael Berryman is on the front cover, because he's really, in my personal opinion, the best part about this entire film. I know some people really hate the sequel. I mean, even Wes Craven himself has admitted that he didn't really care too much about the sequel. He just made it just to make money, basically. But this first one is actually really entertaining. But I would still say the remake is one of those very, very few occasions where I actually prefer the remake over the original one, even though I am a really big fan of the original one as well. So, and this one has lots of special features, as commentaries, looking back at The Hills Have Eyes, a documentary with Craven, Locks, the actors Michael Berryman and Dee Wallace, Janus Blythe, Susan Lanier, Robert Houston, and including photographer Eric Saarinen. Alternative ending. I've never seen the alternate ending actually, so that could be really, really interesting as well. Deleted scenes, original trailer, TV commercial, radio commercial, and gallery as well. So lots of special features in this one, and I don't think I've ever seen those special features before, even though they've probably been included in some of the other like import versions of this film. So yeah. And then we're going to continue with the George Romero film called The Crazies. And this is yet another one that I don't think ever got a DVD or Blu-ray release in Sweden. Or they've never been released with Swedish subtitles, that is. I already had this film in my collection before, but that was like a British import. I'm not too sure if that's cut or not. I don't think it is cut. I think it is uncut, actually, because this is not very violent in general. But this particular Blu-ray release of The Crazies also includes this film called Season of the Witch, which I've seen before, and I think that is kind of lackluster, to be honest. I've seen it like once or twice, and I've never really cared too much about that particular film. But The Crazies, a really amazing film, and I can also recommend the sequel to The Crazies as well, which I also think is a very underrated remake, and one of the better ones, definitely. So yeah, this is going to be really awesome to check out on Blu-ray as well. So yeah, The Crazies right here by George Romero. And then we continue with another Blu-ray release of George Romero's films. First up, we have, this is actually like a double feature, you could say as well, but it's Martin, this vampire film that he made just prior to Dawn of the Dead, I believe. And this is such an underrated film. Whenever you talk about George Romero, you usually talk about his zombie films, but Martin is such an amazing vampire-esque type film. And this one also includes this film called The Amusement Park, which I have seen before now, which was discovered in some vault or something, because that was like, people thought that was like kind of lost material, or like people thought it was lost basically to time, because no one really knew about the thing, and then someone found it like in some vault somewhere, and then they decided to release it on DVD and Blu-ray. I had the British import of that film before, and I think that is the only official release of that film up until that point. But now I'm so glad to find this one on this bonus feature right here, along with Martin as well. Amusement Park is a very unique film. It's not really overly like bloody or gore or anything like that, like you can usually like assume when it comes to some of these films. It's actually a very messed up and really sad, depressing story, really, about like elderly people and how they're treated in like their in their life, basically. So, but I mean, if you've never seen Martin, go check that one out. That is definitely a film that is such an amazing film, and great performances all around. Amusement Park is also really good as well, but keep in mind that's more like a made-for-TV film, so not really that long. Yeah, Martin and the Amusement Park. And then we have these three films. I think all of these are really, really goofy, and it just seems like they get more goofier the longer into this like trilogy you get. But it is the Basket Case trilogy right here. First one definitely being the more serious one. Second and third one, I mean, it just feels like the second one is much more different than 2 and 3. 2 and 3 kind of goes hand in hand, in my personal opinion. And I think all of these were directed by Frank Henenlotter, and he has made some really interesting films. Obviously, the Basket Case films. He also directed Frankenhooker, which is really good as well. But in my personal opinion, his best film is definitely Brain Damage from 1988. Really entertaining film all around. I've yet to see his film called Brutal, I believe, which I've not heard too many good things about, to be fair. But was it Brutal? No, Bad. Was it Bad? No, Brutal. I always mix these things up. I think it's called Bad Biology, to be fair. If you know about this, I'm just messing up right now which what title it was, but I think it was Bad Biology, which was like his latest film, which I have not seen yet. But this one also comes with lots of special features. It actually says over 2 hours of bonus features on this one. Introduction by the director, Frank Henenlotter, commentary with Frank Henenlotter and the producer and the actor Beverly Bonner. What's in the Basket documentary about the trilogy, and you have Grizzly Graham Humphreys look into the legendary film poster maker's career in search of Hotel Breslin documentary about the movie's first like shooting location, 42nd Street then and now. Frank Henenlotter shows us the areas around New York area where the movie was made. And then you have deleted scenes, trailers, radio commercial, picture gallery, and behind the camera gallery, or like images or whatever. So lots of really great special features on this one, which I've never seen before. So that's going to be really awesome to check out eventually. So if you like really funny and goofy films in general with lots of like horror elements to it, go check out the Basket Case films. They're really entertaining and really funny. I would say all of these are definitely more of a horror comedy type films than a straightforward like serious horror films. So yeah, Basket Case trilogy. And then the last film for this Studio S update right here is the film called Nightbreed, which I had before. Now, this is a quite interesting thing, like history about this particular film, at least here over here in Sweden, because the Swedish DVD release for this film used to go for really stupid prices in general, and I think that was just basically like the theatrical cut of the film. But this one actually has the director's cut on it, which I've never seen before, and I've heard it's much better than the theatrical cut, but I'll have to judge for myself eventually once I see that. So that's really cool because I've never seen this particular version of the film. It's about 2 hours long, which I would say usually is a really bad thing when it comes to horror films, because I don't think horror films should be that long in general. But in this case, I'm very intrigued to check out this particular version since I've never seen it before, and I just want to see what we couldn't see in the theatrical cut that was like cut out of the theatrical version, basically. So, and yeah, pretty much everyone already knows about this particular release, I believe. So, yeah, Nightbreed. So there you have it. That's the Studio S update video, or movies released by Studio S. And yeah, I'm just keeping my fingers crossed, and I really hope that they survive and they keep releasing really amazing and cool films that we can still enjoy, because I mean most of these films you will never find on any like streaming service, not at least not over here in Sweden. I'm not really sure about if it's the same in the US or the UK or wherever you live, but it's just I can definitely see myself. I mean, where would you find something like the Basket Case trilogy on streaming? Just please let me know if you're located in Sweden and you know about that. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, that's it for this particular video. Hope you enjoyed this one. Next video is probably going to be another horror review video, and I'm really trying to get to that top 10 horror movies from the 90s, from 1991, 92, and yeah, so on and so on. So yeah, keep your eyes open for those videos, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.